Chenjersh and Churnchablesh. The big stations at both ends of the main line each have a turntable. That way the Chenjer engines can be turned around for their next journey. It's dangerous for Chenjer engines to go fast backwards. There was no turntable at the end of Thomas's branch line. Chank engines don't need turntables. They can go just as well backwards as forwards. But they are more sensitive to track defects at high speed, so you won't often see them working on the main line. But as far as Gordon was concerned, being a main line engine was a matter of status. "You don't understand, little Thomas," he said one day at the junction station. "Tender engines have a position to keep up. It doesn't matter where you go, but we are important. And for Sir Topham Hatt to make us shunt trucks, fetch coaches, and venture into those dirty sidings, well, it's improper." Lizzie blew a whistle, and Gordon puffed away in a dignified manner. Thomas chuckled and went off with Annie and Clarabelle. At the big station, Gordon waited until his passengers had detrained, and then shunted his coaches to the other platform. "Disgraceful," he hissed as he left the station. The big station's turntable was in a windy place close to the sea. It was only just big enough for Eunice to use, and if she was not on it just right, she'd upset the balance and make it difficult to turn. Gordon didn't normally have as big a problem with it, but today he was in a bad temper, and the wind was blowing fiercely. Charlie tried to make him stop at the right spot. Backwards and forwards they went, but Gordon wasn't trying. At last Charlie gave up, and Sid couldn't turn the handle. Some plate layers and the yard foreman came to try, but Gordon's weight and the strong wind prevented them. "It's no good," said Sid at last, mopping his face. "If you had a tank engine, you'd be all right. You'll just have to pull your next train backwards." Gordon puffed into the big station, smoke box first. "Hello," grinned Dickie. "How wonderful to see your cheery face, Gordon." Gordon didn't answer. He made it safely to the junction station. "Look," called a boy on the platform as he pulled up tender first. "There's a new tank engine, and a big one too." "Oh, what a swizz," said another. "It's only Gordon back to front." Gordon snorted. "Hello, Gordon," called Thomas. "Playing tank engines? Sensible engine. Take my tip. Scrap your tender and have a nice bunker." Even James laughed when he saw Gordon later. "Take care," hissed Gordon, "or you might stick on the table too." "No fear of that," chuckled James as he passed by with the express. "I'm not as fat as you." He soon reached the big station and rearranged his coaches. "I mustn't stick," he thought anxiously as he made his way to the turntable. He needn't have worried. As usual, he stopped on just the right place to balance the table. It could swing without fail. His stoker spun the handle. James turned. Easily. Much too easily. The wind blew him around and around like a top. He couldn't stop. The stoker couldn't hold the handle still. James yelled as the yacht sped before his eyes. His driver clutched the handrails of his cab to keep himself steady. He was getting just as dizzy as James, but he got an idea. He grabbed the shovel and scooped some hot cinders into the turntable well. Gradually, there was enough friction to bring the table to a stop. James tried to stop his eyes from spinning. When at last his vision cleared, there was Gordon right in front of him. "Well, well," said the big blue engine. "Are you playing roundabouts?" When at last the wind died down, James, still feeling giddy, rolled to the shed without a word. That night, the big engines had an indignation meeting. They talked about how shameful it was to treat Chenjer engines like this. About how Eunice was forced to wear ugly smoke deflectors. About how Mildred was accused of showering her passengers with soot and smuts. About how Henry was scared, pushed, and splashed by an elephant. About how Gordon was driven backwards and called a tank engine. About how James was spun around like a top and laughed at by plate layers. And about how, on top of all that, I made them shunt in dirty sidings. "Listen," said Gordon. He whispered something to the others. "We'll do it tomorrow," he finished. "Sir Topham Hatt will be sorry."